Alrighty-os, here we are again, you filthy animals. Some more Steel Division 2 stuff, as per usual really. And we've got the monthly tournament, the rookie one. And we got Scotty here, he's on the Maverick with 3rd Guards Tank Corps, which is a reasonably strong division, I would say. It's doing pretty well. And let's have a look at what he's got in here. Emcher for days. It's interesting he's got 2 leader cards in here, so he's probably, well, I was going to say he's probably going for a commander influence lines, but he's got no commander. You don't get the best commanders in this division though. For ISU2, he's only gone for 1 card in A. Maybe because he's on Maverick, that's all he feels he needs, and he's gone for 2 IS2 1944s in B, both at 1 vet, and I imagine he's going to be up-vetting them with the Shermans. And these Shermans, I imagine, are going to be following... Ooh, yeah! Excuse me. Bit of a morning burp going on. I imagine the Shermans are going to be following these guys around, the Sherman leaders, to give them a bit more veterancy, get them doing their job. Yeah, he's not gone for any static AA, which is interesting. I can't quite recall the map, so we'll see that shortly. In terms of AT capabilities, M42... box standard stuff, and he's got Zis 3 in A as well, and then another Zis 3 in B. Not opted for the Panzerschrecks. And artillery very light, and he's gone in more into the airplay here. So he's got a decent, reasonably enough amount of air, needs to keep it moving around, some fighters to help out. Nice recon plane. 50 points, you only get 1 unfortunately, but they are good planes. And the PE2s to do some more bombing runs throughout the game. OB-25 is another extra piece of AT equipment. It has the heat round on it. It's pretty handy. BA-10s are really good. Personally, I would upvet these to at least 1 star most of the time. Just give them a bit more punch. But they're fantastic as they are. And he's gone for the bazooka option with the Razvedka, rather than taking the Shreks in his anti-tank tab. Infantry. Interesting selection here. Tankos in A with the half-tracks and Gvardia, nothing else. So fairly light, he's going to be backed up by a lot of Shermans though, doing some business. He's got the heavy machine guns here to help support, and the OB-25 too, as well as Zis 3. So looking pretty good. In B phase, he's opted for the Avtos, which is an interesting choice. Maybe we're going to be on a bit of a forested map, because these might be able to do some business. Mix these in with the Gvardias, get into some CQC combat. Could do some nasty business. Superior is in B as well, not in A, so quite light on the CQC combat in A, but I imagine he's got the Ognamachiki, the Flamers, and the Tankos in A, should be enough. And then a bit more of a close quarter combat option with the Superior and Avmachiki in B, if needed. Gvardia DP. Only going to get 1 card of these in this division, so you should always take it. And this is what I would do with it usually myself. Put it in B at 1 star. Get it doing its business there. And Gvardia just to flesh out for the numbers. 77, not bad. Alright, now let's go and have a look-see at his opponent. And here we are. Another familiar face, it's Jimster Hacks. Just supping on my morning coffee. And as you can see, he's gone for a balanced income and he's on 78 Sturm. So I think this is a pretty interesting matchup. He's got Nashons in A, he's got the Pack 43 in B, and he's got more Nashons in C. So these should make pretty good work of an IS-2. So we could see the IS-2s getting blapped. Remember, Scotty has only got 2 of them, so this is going to be enough to deal with that. And that would be really nice. The Stugs can do pretty well against the Shermans. At range, they absolutely destroy them. Close up, they might struggle a little bit more. The Shermans just need to be kept on the move, so the Stug can't align of fire on them. But again, I'm not quite sure what the map is yet, because I'm an idiot, I didn't look properly. And the opposite to Scotty, he's gone for a lot of big boom artillery here. He's got 150 millimeters, got 2 of them in B, 4 of them in C, 2 off maps in B, 3 Nebelwerfers in B. Probably a little bit too much in B. I just think maybe he wants to keep his options open what he wants to do. I think it's wise to have something in A which can do some artillery work, even if it's just a mortar. In terms of air, the AA, Axis Division, a bit light in A phase, so that might bite him in the ass, considering that Scotty's looking to get his bombers going. And he's only got a couple of bombers himself, but he's got some fighters to cover. Really sturdy fighters, decent things. Sturdy in terms of the damage they can put out, not in terms of the damage they can take. They will pop quite quickly. And the infantry tab, absolutely amazing, solid. It's 78 Sturm, really good, going to be really tough. Definitely going to outbox the 3rd Gaz tank. I'm imagining why this is why he's got his Avtos in B with the Pioneer, with the Saperi. It does make sense. So in combination, if they're bumping into these in the forest, that's probably going to be a good bet that can win out against some of these units. So it does make sense there. T-26, nice little unit in this division. You only get 4 of them, but a light recon tank, it's always good. Bit on the slow side, but once it gets up to the front, can do some nasty damage. 75mm pen, pretty nice stuff. Avclara, not in any kind of transport. I personally would put these at 1-star vet myself, just to make them that little bit better at spotting out things. Alright, so let's go and see what map we're on and see what kind of murdering we're going to see. See you shortly. And here we are on the battlefield. As you can see, it is Brest-West. So pretty interesting map. Lots of people, lots of people say this is the strongest side by far. I think this is actually fairly balanced map. It depends. So 78 Sturm on here, so it's going to be really strong for 78 Sturm in this situation with his 80 weapons, popping up his Nassauns around here to cover. We'll be able to take out IS-2s as well as a Pak 43. So these ridges are why people say this side is stronger. But personally, I don't really think that. I think you do tend to have to, if you're on the red side, you tend to have to rush a bit more. It depends what divisions you got as well. But I like to try and rush and get onto this hill sometimes. I like to try and put a good amount of infantry into here quite early on and push through to this flag and start causing pressure around in that area. Then you can get onto this hill. So you can sort of rush into here fairly quickly sometimes. And this forest can be a brutal battle. And it looks like I was correct in thinking it's a bit of CQC going on this map. So the Tankos, I imagine, will be coming into here. Probably going to have some Tankos and Flames into here as well, just basically to hold them off. Whereas up on this ridge as well, we get the same kind of thing going on. And you can get some sneaky stuff going on here. Get some AT weapons up to here, some support weapons. And you can then start laying down fire into these areas with some decent recon. So yeah, I do like this map. It's very interesting, but it can be lost very quickly. If you get a bad start, it can be really brutal trying to get back into the game. I will say that, and it's probably true to say that if you have a bad start on the red side, it can be really quite difficult to get back in, especially in this area here where it gets a bit open. So you sort of really need to knuckle down and get in here. If your opponent gets in to this forest and then into this forest, then it's like it gets really tough then. Because trying to get reinforcements in around here, you sort of have to fight, end up fighting in this forest, and you just like you're struggling to get these 2 flags back, so it can be problematic. And what are we going to be expecting to see? Oh, we can see it. There's a Nassau out already. Oh, and we're away. I thought I had a bit longer there, but obviously not. So ISU-152 for Scotty. Makes sense. I don't know what the V2 stands for. Version 2. Maybe he's a clone of himself. Who knows? But kind of standard here. Standard opening. Get some units into here. Try and hold on to your own flag here. Could be a problem. His opponent, he is trying to get into there with some Pioneers. So probably the Pioneers might not win out there. Depends whether if they try and cross this open ground. Sort of depends on if the Flamers and the Tankos stay in here, then they might be able to have a fight with them, but he might get stuck in the light cover. But the Tankos don't really have the range to deal much damage to them. M42 coming straight down the road here. Sometimes you do get an early rush into this area. And we're getting good amount of units from Jimster into the forest here. I always think this triangle here is quite key. This can decide the battle. And Scotty is deploying a decent amount of units in this area. I do like that, because this will be a big threat if Jimster gets into this area and takes over this forest. So that's good. He's got 3 Tangos in there. He's got his half tracks as well. These can come and harass around here. Can be good. BA-10 in there as well. Although ideally he wants to get that off the road fairly soon. And it is going off the road fairly soon. Otherwise this Pack 40 would just mop it up. Sherman 2. And he's getting this off the road as well. And it looks like he's going to get there before the Pack 40. So yeah, Scotty looks well set up in the centre there. That's really good. Down in the forest. Down in the jungle. The pioneers sitting in the edge of the forest. Bit of a standoff here. I think Scotty will be happy with just staying there. Maybe bring the half-track round into the light forest a little bit, just to offer some covering fire in case there's anything in there. No infantry put up here by Scotty. That could be a mistake. But luckily for him, Jimster's only got the Sturm shoots in here, so he's going to be slowly creeping them round. Maybe if he spots this, he'll bring something else up into here, try and get down into this forest. Again, you can sneak this flag quite easily like that, cause problems, sometimes get this flag too. ISU-152 is going to absolutely obliterate that machine gun, as you can see. Oh, and there's this 3's joining in as well, so it's gone already. Bye-bye. Ah! He's dead. And the flamers have been picked off in the open air, but luckily Scotty has spotted it out. He's managed to retreat them. BA-10's also offering some supportive fire. The half-track's not coming around to help out just yet. So, sneaky flag there for Jimster. He's got the tick going. OB-25 battling away with the Pack 40. It looks like he might win this one. I think he's going to obliterate it. Yep. Get one more shot in and he's done. Very nice there. Tankos on the move. I think he's bringing them a bit too far up here. If they get too far into the open, the Sturm shoots and will mop them up. What was that? Oh, PE2. Here we go. The early bombs are coming in. The Flak 41 didn't do enough to repel it in this position. It's not got the best line of sight here, but it's awkward to position these things. Sometimes pop it back here maybe, or like up into this area, but it is tricky. You're not really going to stop one of those coming over here. A Flak, yeah, a Flak 41 would be tastier. Probably somewhere either back on this hill here to cover in the open as well with its HE rounds. But Scotty is winning out. He's broke through in a sense here. So this was a really nice deployment. I really like that. And he's found the weak spot in Jimster's line. Over here, no movement as of yet. And he is on the Maverick, remember, so he's the one who wants to be getting a bit of a push going in A if he can. But seriously, on Maverick, even if you don't tick your opponent at all in A phase, as long as you turn, you know, put the pedal to the metal, as they say, put your foot down, start putting some pressure on in early B phase, you can pretty much start mopping things up and still get the win quite comfortably. So Scotty's probably feeling quite nice at the moment. Moved in his half track as well to gain that all-important flag. The flamers are going to be picked off there. It looks like they might. ISU-152 doing the business. He's going to pick off the pack. Nice takedown there. The Nashorn is, I'm not sure. Oh, he's getting reinforcements. Ooh, is he going to get it unloaded or is he going to get it destroyed? That'll be a big loss if he loses that. He doesn't manage to unload them in time, and his pioneers will go down now. Just needs something to deal with his Nashorn. The ISU-152, its rate of fire is not good enough to box against this thing, unfortunately. A bomber coming in might help out, but the Flak 43 there will do the business on it. And so what has he got going here? Ah, right. So he's brought an SU-76, just trying a bit of arty on it. It's not the most accurate thing over there, but he has brought in, oh, this is interesting. He's got in this unit, which is the leader unit, and it has a radio, which is unusual for the Soviet divisions. So he's going to give me accurate fire onto this Nazon, so it might work out well. I was saying it's a bit of a waste of time without radio, but he does have the radio there. Meanwhile, up in the north, Tanko's being a bit bold here. He's moving forward. He thinks he can take these on. Not a good idea in my opinion. I think it's a better idea just to defend your forest and sit back at this point in the game. But he's feeling bold, wants to put some pressure on. The Gavardia and the Tankos here, they're not going to win out. The Pioneer and the Beglite Pioneer. Yeah, the Pioneer's wiped out. The Beglite Pioneer will probably wipe these out fairly reasonably. They are really strong units. The Molotov will come on, but there you go. There's the TNT. Bye-bye. Even if you get the Molotov off, it's going to do a bit of damage to these guys. Could have sworn I saw a Molotov there. Oh, no, it's gone. But yeah, they're going to hold on their own. They're very strong units. Oh, the flamers out. They're exposed there. Need to move them back a little bit. And here, wouldn't hurt moving these up a touch here, but the Schutzen will probably take them out. That's probably why he's got them back. Lost out. I did miss this. He did lose his armor over here. Pack 40's done the job there. There's a Shrek in here as well. It's going to be difficult to reinforce now. There's a Stug kind of covering most of the road. The Pack's also covering the road. So yeah, getting armor into here, this is what can be a problem later on. Emcher's coming down here, and down this road it's going to get completely blapped by the Pack 40 or the Stug. So hopefully Scotty's got eyes on that. Well, hopefully for his sake. Beglite Pioneers moving forward now. They're going to mop up the Gavardia fairly effectively. Got Nazon up here picking off the reinforcements coming in. So in the north, Scotty quite vulnerable now. Jimster playing it very conservative, building up his armour, setting up a defensive front line. Yeah, really weak in this area, but he is reinforcing right now. So hopefully he can get them in there no problem. But he's got a decent amount of support on the hill. So it's going to be hard for Scotty to get in here. P2 coming in. Is he going to be going for a Nazon? He is, but I don't think he's going to get the bombs off. He's flying basically straight into the AA, so it's not going to work. Needs to pick this off first. Might even lose this. It's flying really close, because they have been reduced to medium resilience, these planes now. Oh! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Can we get eyes on it? There we go. Is he going to go? Is he going to go? Is he going to go? Just makes it out. M42 peppering away at the infantry here, but it's going to go down. Gavardia are going to struggle to match up to the Schutzen at this kind of range. The Emger has survived. Oh, as I say that, looks like it might get picked off. What got this? Did the M42 get a Stug? Wow, wow, wow. It must have. I guess it was. Where was it? Here? No, I'm not quite sure what got this. Maybe there's a bombing run went in that I didn't see, but I'm puzzled. I have to check that out later. Well, back to a 12-12 now. All square. A phase is coming to an end. Scotty's got a little bit of a tick on him. He has lost a few, I'd say too many units in the north. He's bringing some more Tankos in. Everything's getting picked off here. He needs to be really careful. I would also like to have something in here just to hold this flag in case all of this collapses, which it could do quite easily at the moment. He's got no vision on what's going on here. For all he knows, there's a lot of infantry been filtered into here, and they can just come and wipe all these guys out. Another IG-33 coming onto the board. One in the south as well here. One in the north. One in the centre. Nice positioning for all of them, I'd say. But yeah, Jimster is looking pretty good at the moment. Not too bad. He's lacking like boots on the ground, but in terms of his armour set up and his defence, looking really nice. Backlights will be able to hold off a lot of units here, but as long as they step back a little bit. Then again, the only thing that's going to harm them at this kind of range is a Gavardia. The Tankos will have to approach them and take fire before they get up close. He is advancing his tanks here though, and they are on the ridge, so they might get stuck with the incline problem. And I feel it's quite bold to do this at the start of B phase when your opponent is starting to get more units coming in. Could be a bit of a mistake. Same here, he's moving forward. And the Shrek, if he gets this Emcher, that's going to be a nice win for Jimster. Looks like he's going to get it. Nice kill there, very important. The Schutzen can then come up, probably mop these guys up fairly effectively too. Holding this flag, doesn't really need to do much over there. In the south, not a lot going on, fairly quiet. Looks like the focus is in the centre of the map at the moment. BA-10 coming in. There's no more AT weapons up here just yet. Stug is coming round to replace the old one. What the hell killed the first Stug? It's baffling me that. The Pak 40 doesn't have the best line of sight. Sort of needs to shift this around. It's pretty hard to get a line of sight. Just needs to shift this around a bit more. It's not quite in a position to get a line of sight. The IG-33 will be able to mop up a lot of his infantry if it gets eyes onto it. But at the moment, Scotty's getting 3 reinforcements coming into here, even though this should be covered, if I'm brutally honest. Jimster should have this locked down by now, but he's not quite got it going. No infantry put into the centre here for this flag. It's very unusual. There's usually like a mini fight for this area, but it's not happening. And allowing Scotty to come back into this area, he's pushed too far forward in my opinion, and he's going to lose all of this units here, and he's going to lose his flag as well. Scotty's at 13-11 now, soon to be 14-11 I reckon. This is a case he needs to get a double tick on somewhere else. Holding this fairly effectively. Piece of armour around here to pick off this half track might help out. He's moved up his Sturm shoots in a little bit. Could be worth just sneaking around a bit further, get some infantry into here and trying a little sneak. So he just wants to prevent any double tick from happening really. And Scotty being bold, moving forward into the open, straight into the arms of the Sturm Schutzen, which will mop these guys up like nobody's business. Emcher coming in. Unfortunately, it's not coming down this road to support the infantry. If it was in here as well, then the Sturm Schutzen would be having a bit of a sorry old time. The Sherman's particularly good for supporting infantry with all their machine guns, their HE rounds. A lot of transports being picked off here. The Stug 3 doing its job. Managed to lay down a lot of fire into the infantry as long as the MG42, and it looks like Jimster has managed to force this back. So what I said was looking really good for Scotty, it now looks pretty poor. Jimster obviously not listening to me and putting down the pressure where he needs to put it with his tank. Emcher has come into position here and he's holding a flag. So still got a single tick on, not bad. Nazon picking everything off that's coming in here still. This artillery's not doing the job at the moment. Looks like he was aiming at the AA at first. Sadly, it's not quite pinned. Maybe a couple of bombers coming in here, or something to screen the AA and then the bomber to take out the AA and or the Nazon. Another unit lost. So Scotty getting a lot picked off in transports here. In the north, in the centre, in the south. This is where a little bit of smoke would help out a lot. It does have some smoke on this unit, but in the early game, this is why I always say mortars are nice. Just a mortar down somewhere where you've got this kind of problem. Just lay down some smoke here. They can come in, unload, without getting picked off. Same situation could happen here. You could just lay down some smoke on the edge of this hill here, or back here. You can come in, unload, you'll be good. Looks like Jimster might get a flag in the centre. All this looks like it's going to go down. This is a brutal loss for Scotty. He has got some more infantry into this area now though, so that might make Jimster think twice about advancing too far forward, but clearly not. He's just pushing straight forward. The IG-33 is going to help pick off these as well. Looking pretty poor. Good reaction here. ISU-152 is a good option. Come down this hill with its HE rounds, will be able to blow things to pieces, and it will outrange the Stug as well if that starts laying down any fire, and pick that guy off too. Emcher support coming in, but that actually, yeah, is just out of range of the Stug. Nice. So nice reaction by Scotty. But we're at 12-12 now. We're halfway through B phase. He needs to be getting more of a tick on. and in fact he's the one being ticked down. So Jimster's looking pretty solid. He's even bringing out some heavy artillery now. He's bringing out Flak 41 too. Is that what happened to this? Did it get bombed? Maybe I missed that one. Or did the Su-76 get a lucky shot off on it? Either way, the Nashorn's gone, so reinforcements can come into here now. Or so he thinks, because the IG-33 will pick them off too. But yeah, Scotty's in a bit of a predicament now. He needs to make a concerted push somewhere and gain some flags super quick. He's either got to go for this area, taking 3 or 4 flags, or this area, taking 3 or 4 flags. It's looking a bit brutal at the moment. In the open in the south, we're not seeing any IS-2s come in yet. So possibly that's what he's saving up for. I would personally go for an IS-2 at this point in the game into the southern position. Get some smoke laid down around here, rush some units in, take this flag, try and push back into here. Knock your opponent off their footing, and then while you're doing that, creep up and get these flags secured as well, and yeah, you can get game then. Yeah, these 2 flags, and maybe push through to this one with a bit of luck too. But time is of the essence here. He's got the tick back on now. It's really unfortunate he lost those in the centre. And oh, but he's back to 12-12 again. ISU 152 is in position now. The MG might get picked off here. Oh, gets taken out. Was that the OB-25 who got it? Don't think it was. Oh, it must have been the ISU 152. First hit. Really nice. It was at 2 stars, I believe, because it was in range of the MG when it was firing. We've got a single tick. This is secure. But he really needs to be making a push in the south. These flags, it's easy for us to say because we can see, but regardless, you have to make a concerted push somewhere where you can get the most flags, and this is the area. This is a place you'd be wanting to do it. He's probably worried about the support equipment in this area, and so he should be really. The Flak 41's in here, the IG-33. So definitely problematic. Only a few more ticks left in phase B. What is Scotty going to do? An IS-2 is pretty essential, I would say. He doesn't seem to be going for it at the moment. Jimster, is he going to get in range of the... He's going to get the MG. He's going to get him. Is he going to get it? Ooh. That is why these guys are so good. With these machine guns, can repel any attacks like that. So Scotty keeping a single tick on at least. In terms of what we got on the battlefield at the moment, yes, Scotty looks like he does have more equipment on. More units at least. In terms of points, possibly not. We've got his artillery laying down a hell of a lot of fire now. It's going to be really frustrating for Scotty. Just needs to keep his units moving, push them forward. Avto's here, not going to help him at all. They're just going to die. Yeah, throwing in Avtos on their own like this, in light cover, I don't know what he's thinking there. They need the support of the tanks. Tanks need to go in first, get these pinned, and then sweep in with your Avtos into the heavy forests. But he looks like he could get this flag here. Then he needs 2 here. He needs to hold these as well, but he's still not doing it. He's still not moving. And Avto's coming into here, so he is pushing for it, but it's not going to make it round there, unfortunately. The artillery is firing. Looks like he might pin down at IG-33. The Flak 41, I believe, has eyes, so it should pick off the Avtos. I think this is his last opportunity. If this Avto gets into this building and manages to pick off or hold down this flag for a certain amount of time, he might be okay, but no, it's been unloaded. There's MGs in the area as well to cover. He's moving up his MG-42 here. That might be a mistake for Jimster, but it is kind of concealed from most of the support equipment, so this Avto will go down. 12-12 is on, and we're entering in phase C, and I think Jimster has this one. Time elapsed 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go. There's no way I can see Scotty keeping this up. It's going to be really tough. There's no IS-2 on the field. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be 3 ticks before he can afford to buy one as well. So he's not got his big boom on the field. Plus, even if he did bring it out, to be honest, Jimster Hacks has plenty of answers to an IS-2. And it's just a case of he's not managed to make the push through anywhere in a concerted effort. He's tried for the centre. He's got a lot of equipment in here. It's just not working out for him. The problem with pushing here is like, this is your flag, you need to hold it. You need to hold your flag here. And your own flag here. But, on the flip side of that, the problem is, you might just gain this flag here if you're lucky. Possibly these two. Whereas in this position, you kind of want to be gaining a flag around here, gaining maybe one here, and then a couple down here, these two. So balanced was a good option for Jimster for sure. This map, you can do it with Maverick, but you sort of really need to rush in quite early. And you need to attack on multiple fronts, like shift your focus. Whereas it looks like Scotty has just got stuck in the centre and he's just filtering units into here. Lots have been picked up in transports. Over here he's kind of, looks like he's mostly forgot about what's going on over here. There's very little movement. Plus Jimster has it locked down very effectively here. So well played by Jimster. Really nice defensive setup. Really impressive play. And I don't see there's a hope in hell here for Scotty. I imagine it's going to go, he's going to lose a few more flags and then tap out. But yeah, we shall see. Is he going to drag it out and hold on? Ah, there's an option. Maybe he's invested in lots of bombers. But unfortunately for him, Jimster's invested in lots of AA. Yep. Oh, Emcher in the forest has gone down. Panzerschreck has taken him out. Yeah, he left it there for a long time, and all this infantry now is just going to sweep through here like nobody's business. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets his flag. And the flag in the centre as well. Whereas in the south, yeah, might not be able to hold on to this by the looks of it. But there needs to be a bigger sense of urgency from Scotty. He just needs to rush things into this area and try and grab as many flags as he can. Throw in some Shermans, whatever. Get some bombing runs off over here if he can to take these out. Yeah, but I don't see a way back. Don't see a way back. Just really surprised that he didn't bring out a single IS-2. Because although Jimster does have a lot of equipment to deal with it, it's still a potent weapon. So you sit it back here, or sit it possibly on this hill here, can help pick off a lot of units. Or somewhere in this. Yeah, alright, fair enough. Yeah, I take that back. It's going to be pretty difficult to make good use of it, to be honest. But I would still have one, maybe bring it out, put it back here in reserve, just hide it around in the forest somewhere. And then when the time comes where you're making a push, deal with the nasty equipment, then bring it out, and you can lock down this area, stop reinforcements coming in. This has to have been, this will be the proper place to attack. In CQC against 78 Sturm, you're going to really struggle. Gavardi here, gonna get mobbed out. Everything's just been brutalized. Scotty still thinks he has some kind of chance here. He's not surrendered yet. Guess maybe he's thinking that he's traded fairly effectively, as we can see that that is not the case. He's trying to sneak in some sneaker flag here. Emcher coming in. I would probably just move this straight down the road here and go up the hill and just throw some. Once I see this bulge, this will be Scotty's chance to go, alright, let's try and take advantage of this hill, get onto here. Could even be lucky enough to get into the back line a bit, take out some of this annoying artillery which has been constantly firing since it's been on the field. Where's this Stug going up onto the hill now? Nasson coming up onto the hill as well. He is starting to make a shift forward in the south. Still not doing anything here. There's a possibility he forgot about what the incomes are. I've done that in games. I've been playing against someone and suddenly realised, oh, I'm on Maverick and they're on balance. I thought we were both on Maverick. And yeah, it could be a problem then. Oh, this brutal. Oh my god. This artillery. Just doing the business. T26s in combination. Bring one round here, one round here. Probably get a side shot off on this thing and delete it. But I think he's just happy to let the artillery do the job, and it is seriously doing the job. Infantry's trying to be inserted into this forest, but that will get wiped, all of it. Even if it gets unloaded, well, it's not going to. Pack 43's on the road now. That's got to be it. Surely Scotty's going to say, we're done. Or is he just waiting until he gets ticked down less? More infantry being inserted into the forest here. They're just going to get in there for free as well. Nothing's going to be firing at it. Doesn't look like Scotty can even see it. Infantry have crept round into these forests too. I imagine we might see a Stug come up onto here. Just pop its way out. Pick off anything else over here. Cover it, the road here. Get his infantry down into this forest. Looks like we're just waiting for that final nail in the coffin. In the north, still fairly quiet. In the centre, overwhelming force from 78th Sturm here. This flag is not going to last much longer. Is it just one guy holding it? Oh, poor fella. Just go home, mate. It's not going to happen. Oh my god. Big influx of armour coming in to the southern position as well. Yeah, this is game. This is game. Oh, he's literally going to surrender in a few seconds. Whoops. Not a surprise at all. And there we go. Looked like he was off to a pretty decent start. It was just, yes, in that triangle that I was talking about. He had a good amount of equipment in there. I think he just needed to throw in a reinforcement a bit more. Probably rush for the hill, which can stop them getting AT weapons on there. But yeah, all credit due to Jimster there. He did set up a really nice defense. Oh, and it's brutally out-traded him, as you can see. Wow, wow, wow. I am really puzzled. What killed that Stug? IL-2. Ah, I didn't see that come out. There we go. It was the IL-2. Yeah, I think it was just too much picked off in transport. So a lot of this, he had a decent setup. Like in the first sort of 5 minutes, it looked pretty good for him, I thought. He was picking off some half tracks, not a big deal there. Got the Emcher. But yeah, initially, that force in the centre looked pretty nice, pretty tasty. Just lost far too much. Wow, wow, wow. Very brutal. This is where you need smoke. If you're going to play on Brest West, it's one of those maps where smoke is absolutely essential. I guess this is why people go on about that side of the map being much stronger. I just think it's a matter of it's a different approach. If you're fighting from Scotty's side, I personally would say that it's a case of you need to sort of rush in. You need to be more aggressive, and he had the Maverick as well, so it kind of suits him to do that. Whereas from the opposite side, it's much easier to play a more defensive game. But yeah, interesting matchup for sure. ISU152 did some nice work. Both of them do some nice work there. But not much else. Not much else. Maybe a lack of recon. Just throwing in trains of units down the road and getting picked off. Lots of transport snipes. So many. But it's interesting to see so many Nazons coming out quite early. That's not something you tend to see. But they could set them up in some really, really nice positions. Like right in the north, as this 3 could have maybe helped to pick one of these off. But everywhere there was a Nazon, he backed them up with the IG-33. So it's an ultimate combo. So something fires on a Nazon, if it survives, or if the AT gun misses a Nazon, then the IG-33 is going to obliterate it, as in combination with the Nazon firing back. So really, really nice setup there. Yeah, the infantry, like I was saying, so much better. The AVTOs, I understand bringing them in, but it's in the northern area, deep in the forest. They could have done some work. Bringing them into the center of the map, big no-no. It's not going to help him out at all there. But I think he was just didn't have any units left, or was struggling. Put them in wrong positions more than anything. But the amount of 2K equipment you get on 78 Sturm is what makes them pretty strong. The weakness of 78 Sturm is if you rush in with light armor at the start of the game, then you can cause all kinds of damage, because they don't really have much in the way of light AT guns. They don't have much light armor. So yeah, these half-tracks could have done a lot of business in there. And if you can get the Shermans in as well, in a northern position would have been a good idea. And IS-2 in the southern position. But anyway, nice game. Catch you guys next time. Bye-byes.